Hey everybody, we are back again with another game saved from extinction. This time we're back with another fighting game. This is Soul Calibur Mobile, released in 2012. Yes, I said that right, 2012. This was just before the release of the Xbox One and PS4. This was at the same time that the iPhone 5 was dropping, and everyone was pretty much moved on to Android and iOS phones. But Soul Calibur gave the Java platform, the J2ME format, a little bit of love here with Soul Calibur Mobile. Now, why? Again, we've talked about this before. There were emerging markets, and in Japan, flip phones were still the rage at the time. So this one made a lot of sense to release alongside Soul Calibur 5. If you played that game, follows pretty much the same story. But just how does a fighting game work when you are on a mobile platform? Well, let's find out by jumping into Soul Calibur Mobile. So we got a couple of things. We got a lot of options here as opposed to most Java games. You can jump right into the action by playing. You got options, you got help, you got honors, which is your history, and you can leave. So let's look at the help. It tells us the rules of the game, the controls of the game, and about the game. So the rules of the story: discover the legend of Soul Calibur as you progress through each character's epic storyline. Now this tells you about the game modes. There's a couple of them. There's that story, which is your standard fighting game story. Pick a character, go through the levels, get your ending, and move on. Now there's the Tower of Lost Souls. For those of you that know Soul Calibur here, this is you fight your way up through a tower of opponents once you make permanent progress with a character while earning money. Now cash is important, as you can purchase upgraded weapons to use to use while you play. So I know for a fact Sophitia has her main weapon, but you can unlock for 10,000 gold Soul Edge in that combo to use. Each character has their own unique upgradable weapon set, which is kind of cool. Okay, follow that is arcade. Fight against 6 opponents in which you may earn money. Weapon bonuses are not active in this game mode. So this is just your basic fight mode. Your versus, no story, no nothing, pretty basic. Then there's survival. This game mode will throw you an endless wave of opponents, one after another. A small amount of your character's health is recovered after each fight. Defeating each enemy will earn you money, which you can use to purchase unique weapons. So the two modes where you can earn weapons is Tower and Survival. Cool. Basic gameplay. Guard. Using the guard key puts your character in a guarding state. There are 2 types of guard stances. This tells you about how to play the game. It's pretty involved, and it doesn't work perfectly because we're trying to tweak the controls. There are some missing elements here, but when you get it going, you can play it pretty well. So let's jump back. That tells us about everything in the controls and the rules. Let's jump into play. And here are our options. There is, in fact, a training mode where you can practice, because there are a fair bit of combos. Not a lot, but there are some. And each character has unique controls for pulling off their combo. So they're not all going to be the same. A lot of times in these Java fighting games, they're all essentially the same thing. So let's jump into the story. We have played this a little bit before as we're testing it and as we're working to refine this. So we've unlocked some characters. Every time you play a character, get to the end, you unlock another character. They are involved in your story somehow. But this time we're just going to jump into my favorite character in the Soul Calibur series, Sophitia here. As you can see, they're unlocked. You get 2 basic costumes. The rest of these are unlocked. So you get some alternates. So we'll keep her original one. So we'll say yes to that. Now, as you can see here, we have some money because we were playing through the tower mode to try to understand all of these game modes. But you have the Omega Sword and the Elk Shield, which is her standard, and then you have Soul Edge, so she can't unlock that one. So that's cool. So this one, of course, has no attributes in the bonuses, and this one has a Soul Gauge boost to allow you to do your specials with the correct key command. So we're just going to play a little bit to show you guys off here. This is the of the era intro with a random quote like Call of Duty used to do. This is pretty cringe at the time, and even more so now. So here's her story. Sophitia had once been a holy warrior. Yes, she was the main character. Chosen by the gods, she battled and shattered the cursed Soul Edge. However, she was bathed in the shards of the cursed sword, and the daughter she bore inherited her cursed blood. Sophitia soon learned that her young daughter, Pyra, would not survive without the evil energy of the sword. To save Pyra, I cannot let Soul Edge be destroyed. The girl who had been chosen was no more. In order to protect her daughter, she chose to oppose those who hunted the cursed sword. So she doesn't really go bad, but she goes down a different path in order to save her daughter. Cool, cool. So here we go. So as you can see, there is music. Now, your specials there are unblockable. So you have a basic command attack here, and then you have a strong attack there. And combining those with the movement controls, you have the action here. And you can see he did that again. And so here's a command move. So there's one. And we'll get up close. Here's another. Boom. And Sophitia is my favorite one. She's the easiest to pull off some of these moves with. There's one of his command moves. Okay, so the game isn't 3D. Pretty good sprites on this. There are boob jiggle physics for some reason. What do you hunger for? Happiness can be found in normalcy. You should use your strength for another purpose. So there is interaction between these characters. There are 3 planes of battle. There is a forward plane and a back plane. I believe, well, 2 planes, I guess, technically. And you can jump to them. That was unblockable, but I didn't block it. Forward, back. And I have this set on easy just so we can kind of go through this a little bit. So double tapping dashes forward, dashes back. There are unblockables there. Forward, back, B. Come on. Forward, back, B. There we go. Does that attack. And then back forward, A will do the shield bash. Your soul is dangerous. I cannot let you need the cursed sword. Please turn back. So let me show you. There's Taki, one of my other favorite. So if we go here, we do have a move list to show you kind of what you can do. So forward, down, down, forward, B. Kind of that angle move is the Angel's Strike. Now that is a pretty simple move to do on most any gaming device. But when you're dealing with Java and you're still dealing with buttons, that move becomes incredibly difficult to pull off that front forward thing, especially depending on your device. Some devices don't have that little circle pad sort of thing for dialing. Some people just use the number pad. So this is where it gets a little bit tricky, especially in emulating if your emulator doesn't have a certain number of keypad layouts. But you can do that here. So here is the double hilt, which you saw with that shield bash. Back, forward, A. There's the impaling strike, back, forward, B, or forward, back, B, which is that stab one. There's the cutlass Europa, Jetstream Rush, Paladin Purifier. Now, if you see the K, there is a kick command. I believe that's kick. I'm not sure if that's kick. I want to say so. If we look back, that's a kick command, and the other attacks. Angel Sweep, turning Angel Sweep. There we go. The Olympus Cannon is T, and that's your trigger command for your alt. I don't know if I have that one mapped quite yet, but that gives you an idea of some of the moves here, which are a fair bit. So let's get back and show Taki what for. There's that stabbing one, which I really like. You do have a throw command, so when they do get dizzy, you can come up and throw them. And if we go back, forward, forward, back. Oh, it's not hitting. Back, forward. There we go. Forward, back. So the timing on this becomes much more difficult. I know what I'm doing is a sin, but I must continue as long as she is safe. It does not matter. Okay, so the key commands are quite difficult to pull off because the response time has to be just right, unlike an arcade stick or controllers where you have a little bit of leeway. Back, forward. Oh. So that's the kind of dot, dot, dot is the kind of timing dot, dot, dot. If you're kind of timing it musically to get your action in. Bop, bop, bop. Dot, 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 dot. There's usually 3 commands only per thing. So you still wonder, Soul Edge is hungry. It's time for you to sleep as well. So those 3 commands are bop, bop, bop is essentially the timing rhythm for all moves. And if you kind of get too fast, it won't grab that input. If you're too slow, it won't grab the input. The enemies are gone. There's nothing left for you to sacrifice. You are still here. If you value your daughter, become part of me. No, if I am gone, who will I? Oh, I refuse. So I will grant you this is easy, but the hard mode is incredibly difficult. So at least here, we have some room to maneuver. Bop, bop, bop. Bop, bop, bop. Boom. Shield bash. Bop, bop, bop. Yeah, that's the timing. There we go. So essentially on the lower settings, on the easy mode, they just give you kind of a little bit of room to work with. Boom, 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 boom. We got them. And that's it. There's only a handful of characters. It's not a long game. Don't worry, I will always protect you for her sake. Yeah, well, you're causing a lot of problems there, Sophie Tia. And now, her ending isn't actually Nightmare. It's Siegfried. Why do you stand in my way? I cannot let Soul Edge be destroyed. Once I destroy your sword, she will be safe. Say no more. I too do not expect forgiveness. So I think Siegfried, by this point, I think in 5, he's on his redemption arc because he's no longer Nightmare. They have split. Whoa, whoa, look at that ultimate move. Boom, boom. The animation is interesting. It's got that sort of quap feel. Like they're all kind of jointed, held together. And her jiggle physics on this move right here is wild. Bum, bum, bum. There we go. Bum, bum, bum. Boom. Bum, bum, bum. You know what I don't think this game does have? That I'm aware of is ring outs. I don't think that's a thing here. Gods forgive me though. I was once a holy warrior. I am now a woman, a mother. And this is the ending. Should the spirit sword truly be destroyed, Sophitia faltered, and in that moment Siegfried used his last breath to inflict a blow. When she reached them, she saw Soul Edge and Nightmare both destroyed and frozen together with Siegfried. No, it can't be. What will happen to her? Sophitia ran to her daughter and embraced her. Pyrrha's life started to waste away in her arms. Oh, Pyra, whatever it is. Sophitia collapsed in tears. A red light emanated from her chest. It was a fragment of the cursed sword, which had embedded itself in her long ago. How does that work? She noticed it. When she hesitated for a moment, she plunged her sword into her chest. Her daughter could not live without the power of the cursed sword. She gently embeds the fragment into her daughter and hands her stained red. Her hand stained red. Be happy, Pyra. May the gods bless you. In exchange for her life, Sophitia chose to be a mother until the end. I believe following this, her kids are the ones fighting. If I am not mistaken, I don't really remember all of the Soul Calibur stuff. Just remember, she was my favorite from the beginning. Okay, so that's the gist of it. So if we go back into story, if we played someone new, that would have unlocked. So let's actually try, since we haven't, we'll do Siegfried here, and we'll run a little bit with him. So you can see the alts are just costumes. You get this pink one. Boom, and he has Soul Calibur. And he can also change to the Great Sword. And his bonus is alignment. I don't know why you would want to go down to some Buster Sword thing, but Soul Calibur is pretty dope. Those, therefore, blah, blah, blah. Dante's Infernos. Yeah, I hate that stuff. Alright, because of his own weakness, Siegfried had killed his father. Seems like he's pretty strong, actually, not weak, but we'll go on. He became Nightmare and traveled the lands with the cursed sword. Wishing to atone for his folly, he fought to eradicate the cursed sword. It is time to put an end to this. As if answering his call, the spirit sword Soul Calibur began to glow in his hands, and it was anticipating the final face-off with its mortal enemy, Soul Edge. Okay, Nightmare strolled on Ostrenburg, cast a dark shadow before Siegfried. His journey of atonement was near its end. So if you remember, the first game was called Soul Edge because that was the sword, and became Soul Calibur. I don't know why. Maybe it was some rights issue they thought they had, or they didn't think that name would work. Who knows? But Soul Edge is actually the very first game, based on the sword, and Cervantes is the one that has it, if I remember right. Okay, Siegfried versus Mitsurugi. He's cool too. So I don't know Siegfried's move list, so let's look at it together. And we'll do some basics, since we have the basic control set up. We got a drop kick, forward back kick. And we've got a Dark Soul impact, not Dark Souls, but a Dark Soul impact. Forward, back down, A. Okay, we have a double grounder beta. Okay, got that beta mail. And we got the rock splitter. Okay, so let's focus on the two easy moves. So the double ground beta, forward back A, and the drop kick. Alright, so we'll focus on that and see if we can pull some of these off. Here we go. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. I believe that's a double grounder. If we go the other way. Bop, bop, bop. Bop, bop, bop. Bop, bop, bop. Nope. Bop, bop, bop. Bop, bop, bop. Bop, bop, bop. Maybe not. Forward back kick. Bop, bop, bop. Bop, bop, bop. Yeah, we got the double grounder. Forward back. Bop, bop, bop. No, bop, bop, bop. Well, that hit hard. I don't think that was a move, but we'll see. Get out of the way. I have no time to waste on games. So that the forward up, that kind of top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right motion in fighting games isn't quite working on this one. As you can see, I think I just jumped a plane, right? So that's that. So let's do this. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. Pop, pop, pop. Yeah, that's the grounder, right? Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Pop, pop, pop. Nope. So I'm trying to get these motions right, and it's not quite working. So this looks like this is our go-to move right now, and I'm not happy with it because it doesn't really do much to push them away. But I will give it that Siegfried does have a lot of damage. I do not ask for forgiveness, however far from the path of humanity I walk that lonely road. Okay, that moves fast. So forward, back, B, forward, back, B. Yeah, I believe that's the weaker of the moves. I really do have to find a way to adjust and get that slice, the angles on this emulator to work right. Because that's leaving us at a little slight disadvantage. I do not have time to argue my methods with you. If you continue to oppose me, I will destroy you along with that cursed sword. I think we have two more left. Got Ivy here. I believe she's Cervantes' daughter. Boom. Whoa, she wrecked me, son. The dizzy animations on this one are actually really funny. Oh, I'm at the other direction. That's what the controls are based on the direction you're facing. I should know that. Whoa, she's bouncing up there. I sense a cursed soul. No matter how you mend it, it stands no chance against this sword. Your sword. I've been waiting for this moment. I am the master of the cursed sword. Master, you. I loathe to remember, but I defeated you. And the resurrected Nullfire exit. Yeah, he died. Wander as well. I will put you to rest. He's essentially a Davy Jones dead sort of dude by now. The cursed blade really did him in. Pop, pop, pop. Okay, it's cursed sword doesn't want to see. He jumped up, and by not having those angles working quite yet. Whoa, that's a M. Bison type move. By not having those angles working quite yet, you lose the ability to jump those angles. So we are still tweaking that. This place will not be my grave. I cannot give you this life. So we still are working on those tweaks to get this functioning properly. This time for your demise has come. You shall sink into the dark abyss. My unforgivable past, we shall put an end to it all now. Do not interfere, Soul Calibur. I am your master. I will atone for my sins. Open. Door to evil. This world heads towards the world, blah, blah. Okay, moving fast. Here we go. Okay, we gotta get in. It's getting tight. This one might actually be a tough fight. Baba. I don't think it will be if I can keep this pattern. And the thing with this one is if you have the right motion, you can sort of cheese the system. So you can go in the front plane. So we see we're down there now. So there are 3 planes, even though I thought there might have been 2. Oh, I lost. Dang. Okay. That was close. Alright, so you do get some restarts and continues. So we are fighting at a disadvantage. We don't have those angles. And we're short 1 key, which does happen to be, strangely enough, our super key. There we go. Get in a groove. Get in a groove. Pop, pop, pop. Pop, pop, pop. Pop, pop, pop. Pop, pop, pop. Oh, nope. Now he's getting in the groove. Mix things up a little bit. Pop, pop, pop. Pop, pop. There we go. We got it. Stage completed. Soul Calibur, do not confuse me. I will grant your wish now. Farewell, my nightmare. Oh, that sounds like a great emo song. Farewell, my nightmare. Soul Edge was destroyed. However, a fragment of it was sucked into the alternate dimension that Nightmare had torn open. Siegfried stared gravely up at the night, sensing that his journey was not yet over. He left the cursed city, Wastenberg, now an abandoned, ruined, behind. He did not impale himself on the sword. He could not disregard his sins by succumbing to the relief of death. Had Soul Edge truly been destroyed, and Soul Calibur had tried to control him, its master, its power was too dangerous and must be hidden, protected from those who would misuse it, where they would be saddled with sin as well. When would he face the catastrophe of Soul Edge? I don't play this game. I think I actually have it on the 360 somewhere, but I didn't really play this. I have the strategy guide, so I must have the game. I'm looking at the strategy guide on my shelf behind me. So I don't know what the deal is with him hiding the sword, or if he went to like that big Buster Sword later. But nonetheless, that's his story. So if we go back to play again, go back to story, the next character here unlocks. So we have Ivy, you have Cervantes down there, and then you have Nightmare. So there is a fair bit of play here, especially if you like the tower mode to unlock things, because you need all that money to unlock each character's weapons. So there is some replay value. There's the arcade. I do like that there's a training mode, so you can just jump in with anyone that we've unlocked to play. There are costume unlocks. She's got Valentine and Viper's Edge, so they each have their own weapons. And in training, you can pick who you want to fight. So we can pick Sophitia over here. We'll give her a weird costume. And you got options. So there are a number of stages. Each character should get their own stage. And if you load up, you get it. So that's pretty cool. So now she won't fight back, but we can do whatever we want. And the training mode, surprisingly enough, mid, high, gives you options of telling you what you're doing and what the move is. Now, necessarily, it's not going to give, it doesn't seem to give you, forward, back, whatever. But if you do a move, it tells you if it's a mid or high, and it tells you the move up top. So that's the Raven Gash. So if I try something else, I'm just sort of guessing. There's Exile, because her cool little sword does turn into that. Now, with these, if you have a special that knocks up, boom, you see that? You can actually combo out of this. So if you time it just right, boom, you can get the second hit, which does a whole bunch of damage. If we time it, sometimes it won't pick up. But you can use this move to pick up off the ground if you're on the same plane. So, 1, 2, 3. If we do this, and then we attack, boom, oh, we slowed down a little bit. We got those follow-up hits. So that's Soul Calibur Mobile. I think it's surprisingly good. I actually really like it. And look, even here you can set the CPU action to do a certain move over and over again to work your way through the counter. So you're not going to see this at something like EVO. You're not going to see this at a competition. But I think there is enough here to consider this a fairly full-fledged fighting game. Even though there's no way to play with others, of course. But that's okay. So that's it. This is another one saved. Namco Bandai games from 2012. Not too long ago. Well, I guess long ago now, but in the grand scheme of things, not that long ago. This one has been saved. We're still tweaking on it. All of these games will be available in the museum for you to download. Like, comment, and subscribe if you like this channel. It helps us grow as we continue to develop the museum. We're also developing the emulator for the online part of the museum, as well as an emulator offline, so you can download these titles and play for yourself. And we're tweaking things like right now. Each of these games will have their own entry. It'll tell you how to play them, how to set the controls, all the stuff that we're figuring out that you'd have to kind of go hunting for on your own. We're doing it for you, and all we ask is a like, comment, and subscription. That's it. Share this with your friends, and if you do want to help the museum grow more than that, there is a link in the description that you can click, but we're never going to push that sort of thing. So thank you for watching. Until next time, have yourself a fantastic day, night, whatever it may be, and we'll see you again in the next video.